It's that time again, the Community Foundation of Middlesex County's virtual pop-up grant, and we're in April. Happy spring, everyone. Let's see who we get. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't look. All right. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Oh, can't wait to tell you.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of the CFMC virtual pop-up grant call. We're so excited to welcome and say congratulations to Coginchaug Valley Education Foundation and Nancy Earls and John Bittiscone.
Thank you
Very
so much.
exciting.
Thank you so much, Community Foundation, for all that you do and for this wonderful recognition for us. It's great.
Congratulations to you.
Really, congratulations. We're just so excited. This has been such great fun and we're so thrilled with everybody that gets involved. So I'm sure the big question for so many outside of your footprint, Nancy, what is Coginchaug Valley Education Foundation?
I am happy to tell you. We are a nonprofit in the communities of Middlefield and Durham, founded in 2008, actually, by Merrill Adams, a former educator who had a vision that there would be a way to enhance community life in our towns by supporting lifelong learning and sponsoring like innovative, creative, unique programs and projects for our citizens. And so we do that two ways. The main way is we award grants to any individual community organization, church, library, business that has a creative idea that we think would bring people of all ages together to learn something. And then we also host several events that are just really community gatherings. One is the semi-annual Trivia Bee, which is met with huge enthusiasm. We fill a whole auditorium of teams of all ages who compete for a coveted trophy that, that we pass down year to year. Then we also host something called Talk of the Towns, where 4 interesting community speakers come, and to a sold out crowd. It's not sold out because it actually doesn't cost anything. It's standing room only though every year. And we have 10 or 12 minutes speaker. And then we have question and answers at the end. And in between we have some snacks and wine. And again, it's a chance for the community to come together, to learn something together and to gather. So that's basically in a quick nutshell what we've been doing.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
That's terrific.
And Nancy, how did you get involved?
Good question. I got involved but with Merrill Adams. I was an educator at the time, and I was busy teaching in a middle school. And she asked me to just be a liaison between the school district and the organization. And I said, because I have no time at all. And I thought, well, I could do that. Education is my passion, and that would be easy, take a few minutes. And then all of a sudden I was the head of the grants committee. And then all of a sudden now I'm the president. And I'm like,
there you go.
I owe her big time. I owe her something. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, but you know what? It's been so rewarding. And we have a board of 8 people who are just so, John will tell you this, they're so dedicated and so talented. And it's easy because they're passionate about what we're doing. So it's all good.
That's great. So John, you obviously care about this organization. It means something to you. Can you tell us, how you got involved and, what just made you decide to nominate them?
Well, thank you, Jennifer. It's really easy to respond to that question because I feel so strongly about lifelong learning in our community. And these kind of organizations often operate under the radar and don't get a lot of credit, but there is really a lot going on. And I think there are a couple of reasons why I feel so strongly about the organization. First of all is the grants that they provide to the local community are really what I would call grassroots kind of opportunities for our local community. And second of all is that recently, particularly in the last few years, we've had tremendous growth. And there's a real buy-in by Middlefield and Durham in supporting this organization. So it was easy to be able to myself get excited about it, and also very excited about these pop-up grants, which are, not only resources, but they're an opportunity for recognition of the work that these kind of organizations do. And then recently, within the last, even during COVID, the organization has really maintained some visibility in the community. Particularly, one of the things that they're currently involved in is the distribution of something called a parental guide to the pandemic. So it's a toolkit, so to speak, for parents to utilize in working with their children to kind of survive and go through and continue to educate during the pandemic. So they really, these are, as Nancy indicated, and that these are things that are really innovative and creative, but yes, necessarily really help the parents and the children in the community. And I have to give a shout out to Nancy. Under her leadership this past year, the growth has really continued, and I think we're going to have bigger days ahead for us.
Wonderful. That's great to hear.
Wow. So these parental packets to just guides to the pandemic. So Nancy, what else has kind of come out from the pandemic that you've been able to offer, or what's new? Because there's so much going on right now.
Yeah, it's ironic. We were saying we've been more productive than ever this year. And it's, and I'm sure that's true of a lot of people. We've just been creative. And one of the silver linings, of course, for all of us is ways to generate enthusiasm and to keep in touch. So we've reached out to our neighborhoods continually during the epidemic, because we've all talked to each other, and we know how hard this year has been. So we've just been in constant touch through email blasts, and just like a morale builder. But what John alluded to is our project called the Parent Pandemic Playbook, which we love. It's got a little cute little icon, little emoji, and it's got categories like self-care, family fun, parent support, community resources, and it's an online resource bank. And it's updated every month, and with new offerings, and we go through everything and we throw out the outdated things, and there's videos, there's podcasts, there's things to sign up for, there's family activities. And we are trying to think of a way to help families who are struggling with keeping everything together, as we all know, right? School and remote learning and their jobs and their families. And it's been very successful. And then we noticed that the page that was often visited was the family fun. So we wanted to set up next a speakers bureau with community speakers again. And we thought, enough about anxiety and the troubles we're all having. Let's lighten it up for the spring. So now we have a dozen or so. We're in the middle of this. Every Wednesday we post a video of somebody doing a demonstration. We're encouraging it to be a demonstration, something we can participate in. A very popular one was the spring cocktail class, mixing up a cocktail. Not for children's eyes, but the latest one was a graduate, an alumni of our local high school who's into rock climbing, and he also does film. So he did a really professional looking talk and film on all the different kinds of rock climbing you could do, and what equipment you need, and from very basic to, the ropes and everything. So, and there's some art things. There's a science teacher who's doing a science experiment with her grandchildren. So that's our it's called Speaking of Fun. And then the last thing we did, instead of our Talk of the Towns, which we couldn't do in person, we reached out to Coginchaug High School alums who are doing really interesting, fascinating things in their communities all over the world, really. And they've taken different routes. So we wanted high school kids especially to see that you don't have to follow the sequence, So these young people were beyond our expectations. If we had written a script for them, it couldn't have been better. And they started about their roundabout way to get where they are and what they do. And then they ended up, unbeknownst to us, giving some really wise advice to students in high school, how you can find your dream and it doesn't necessarily go this way. So, so those are the things we've been doing that we're very proud of. And I think we've helped the community somewhat, get through this year. And we're looking forward to, we're going to have a brainstorming session this summer and see what the fall is going to bring for us. So
if I could just add one other thing to this Parent Playbook is that when I looked at the copy the first time myself, I thought about my daughter, who's an educator out in California. So I sent that to her and she distributed it to the entire faculty and they distributed it to parents in San Diego, California, where their school is. And then I sent a copy to some friends in Maine, who then sent it to some of their friends, and it got distributed throughout that community as well. So it's really, in this day and age, with communication being so easy, if you do quality work, it really has an impact on a larger group of people.
yeah.
And Nancy, I have to say thank you because you allowed us to share it with other youth organizations throughout the county. So thank you. And you're right, John. It's sort of this multiplier effect.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And we have a communications committee and we've sent it out like a web. And then people have said, do you mind if I send this out to
Right.
you know how that goes. So I think it has reached a lot of people and they've taken whatever they need from it. So, and we consider that the broad spectrum of lifelong learning. It
Sure.
doesn't have to be a topic. It's just, our emotional health, our physical health, that's all in the realm of what we consider our job as promoting lifelong learning. So.
Well, thank you so much for everything, not only now, as John pointed out, and you did through the web that you're doing for the Durham Middlefield communities, but obviously our whole region and beyond across the country, because I think the more resources that are available, the more people are thinking about ways to interact as a community, as a family, and really engaging all ages. So your work is so important in getting us forward, looking at the bright side. As we all said, it's a beautiful sunny day. So it's, it's uplifting and giving us something to look forward to doing together. So thank you so much for all you and all of your fellow volunteers do. I think we need to stress that you're an organization of people who love your community and are all volunteering and committed to doing the work. So thank you so much.
We do. And thank you again, Community Foundation. None of us do this alone. And it's really nice to have your support and your enthusiasm for what we're doing. It helps so much. So
A round of applause for you.
Yay.
Yay.
all of us. Thank you. Have a great sunny day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John.